What is going on, everybody? I go by RB. Philly Take with RB. I'm joined here by my guy, Philly Mike. Shout out to everyone up in the chat, man. Sixers post-game live, back at it again. The Philadelphia 76ers fall to the Boston Celtics by a score of 102 to 94 in this one, and they now trail the series 3-0. No NBA team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. And at this point, I'm truly disgusted. We're going to give our instant reactions to this game. First, let me hit this super chat by my guy, Philly Notion. Philly Notion, appreciate the super chat, my guy. To salute to RB for being a real one. Stands behind garbage until the end. Get ready for the broom. Nets and Sixers have the same fate. It hurts reading messages like this, but like you said, man, I'm going to stick behind this team no matter what. But I got a lot of crap to say about this game, about the crunch time minutes. You guys know where I'm going. You know where I'm going with this, but Philly Notion, shout out to you, my guy. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the super chat. What's going on, everybody? We got 60 up in the chat, man. I am pissed off once again. I knew that somehow, some way, it was crumbling down. I did not feel confident at all in this game, but I'm going to go ahead and let my guy, Philly Mike, go ahead and give me his first thoughts and reactions. How did the Sixers, shooting terrible, but still in the game, how did they lose this game?
The one thing that's again, shooting is why we lost this game. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now, Brett Brown was not as bad as he normally is. He's always doing something to get in the way, but he wasn't as bad as he normally is. He played the rotations that we expected. Now, we did not want Al Horford in the starting lineup because it don't work. Just because game one was closer than game two was going fine until you put your stepson in the game. Wrong Neto, however you want to call it. But at the end of the day, it was the shooting that kept us out of the game. It was the effort and the heart that kept us in the game, which has me thinking, is this team trying to save Brett Brown's job? Like, they know, everybody hears a chatter. When they hear the analysts say it now, you got Nick Wright, Stephen A. Smith, you got everybody talking about fire Brett Brown. Is this why they decided to come out and play? Because they did play with heart, but they can't shoot. They can't shoot.
Here's what I'll say, Philly Mike. With all due respect to you and everyone in the chat, once again, the Sixers, absolutely a disgrace in the last few minutes of a game. Literally, we were shooting. First, this game, I don't think Brett Brown coached absolutely terrible tonight. But in reality, in the last few minutes of a game, that is where I'm going to directly. There's a lot to talk about in this game. But in the last few minutes, there is no way in hell that on your last three possessions, I see the plays drawn up that I see drawn. Now, to be fair, this game highlights the roster construction. It's terrible. Elton Brand must have thought we were going to win games scoring 80 points. There are no shooters on this team that can fare with a playoff defense. There are no shooters on this team. Furkan Korkmaz got no separation. Shake Milton looks uncomfortable. He looks like the G Leaguer, Shake Milton. Tobias Harris, a waste of a max contract. Let me tell you, though, in the last couple minutes, it's crazy that the Sixers are shooting under 30% when they come into the fourth quarter, and we're down 4. And what happens? Jason Tatum's in foul trouble. He starts to heat up, but the Sixers were going toe for toe with the Celtics, and they knew they had to win this game. Here is where my issue is. We talked about this. The last 3 calls, you are Brett Brown. You are down 2 points. And you're telling me that your crunch time play calls, I have them right here. I wrote them down. The first play was a post up for Joel Embiid. They knock it in to the paint. They throw it into the paint. And Joel Embiid posts up. They completely swarm him because he has almost 30 points. And there's nowhere to go. So Joel Embiid has to outlet the ball. But why are the shooters lined up across the court? Why are the shooters lined up across the court? That's number one. Marcus Smart steals it, goes all the way, and 1. The next play, Al Horford at the elbow, Joel at the low block, and you swing it to Josh Richardson for a corner contested 3 that is blocked. These are your crunch time go-to plays. And lastly, a Tobias isolation to put the icing on the cake, absolutely disgusting. 3 Sixers on one side of the perimeter, and Tobias shoots an isolation 3. Those are your last 3 offensive plays, and really, that is what you dial up if you're Brett Brown. I have an issue with that.
I agree, but we also shout out to my guy Philly Notion as well. Got to show love to the other real one, Philly Mike. Salute, brother, for repping the Sixers. Landfill, all love my guy, but the Sixers are out of here. Hey, facts are facts. You can't change a 3-0 beatdown so far, but I will say this. You were right, RB. You can't draw these plays up. You can't have the best shooter on your team across the court. So if Embiid needs to pass out, he got to go there. Facts, but I also say Embiid got to be smarter than making that pass. And the 3 possessions you said you had one in between. If you're going to 3 last ones, it is the Tobias ISO, the J. Rich contested 3, but the previous one would be the Embiid forcing the fadeaway at Cantor and getting blocked, because the Marcus Smart would have been the 4th possession. But the last 4 possessions, I give 2 horribly drawn up plays. Well, they're all horribly drawn up, but we did try to go ISO with Embiid. He just made the wrong choice down the stretch. But I mean, the guy's been playing an extensive amount of minutes. He's been trying. I mean, but hey, no excuses. Brett Brown failed us, but we did try to put the ball on the big man. And Embiid's my guy. That's the guy that I rock with in Philly. I'm a Ben Simmons supporter too. I want both these guys to get a fair chance without Brett Brown there. But I am a big Embiid supporter that he's that guy. Tonight, 19 in the first half, 30-something overall, but the Sixers defense was good in the half-court set. 3 points on the one turnover and 3 points on the other turnover. Just unfortunate, but I do agree. Brett Brown, even if Brett Brown plays one okay game, it doesn't matter. There's too much bad. Post-pandemic, every part of the 2020 season has been bad under Brett Brown, so there's no going back. Facts.
Look, man, I mean, I hear what you're saying. At the end of the day, I feel like if you are Brett Brown, you would have to draw something up in crunch time. You got to draw something up. Like, it wasn't terrible, but at the end of the day, this game really, I'm not going to put it all on Brett Brown. The defense played well. This team stepped up. Now, I don't agree with some of the rotations I saw. I don't agree with some of the possessions I felt were just so empty. Like, I felt like I was watching the same thing. Boston obviously bringing the pressure. Brad Stevens is too smart. He literally let the Sixers live or die by our shooters. Like, there was no in between. He literally started to suffocate Joel Embiid. Embiid, a lot of people will look at his production in the first half and say, oh, Joel Embiid had the best first half ever. No, he actually, not in terms of scoring, but they were putting a lot of pressure on Joel Embiid. He got to the free throw line 10 times in the first half and hit 8 of those. He also had a nice amount of offensive rebounds. We absolutely tore the Celtics up with offensive rebounding.
And I will real quick. And when he wasn't going to the free throw, he was passing out of the double team. Like you said, they were putting so much pressure on him. If you have just capable shooters, we're leading this game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Celtics, I will say the Sixers stepped it up on defense, but at the same time, the Celtics were also missing shots. But I will commend Brett Brown for finally making an adjustment to bring the center up on a pick and roll. Every possession where we brought our center up, they missed. They missed. Why does it take this long to understand that? Now, there were some possessions where we went back and Kemba Walker hits a free 3. Jaylen Brown hits a 3. But why does it take so long to understand that? Now, in addition to that, I think the Sixers stepped up and showed, well, what did I say? The one key of tonight's game was to come out and have heart. Just have some dignity, play hard. The Sixers played hard all night. But my question is, why does it take 2 games for Tobias Harris to say, you know what, I'm going to shoot 10 times in the first half? Why does it take 2 games and a pitiful performance for the Sixers to come out and say, you know what, I actually have more to give? I don't get it. But overall, the Celtics just outmatch us. Their defense is tenacious. They just suffocate us, man. And there's nothing else we can do. We don't have the necessary shooting.
Shout out to my guy, Jersey Boy. for the super chat, my guy. He says series is over. Brett gotta go. That is the end results. The series is over, and Brett does gotta go. We have to, fix this fast because the roster is bad. We got 2 people on this roster that we have to try to get out of. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be pretty, but it got to be done. It got to be done. And you need shooters. Like, Philly Take with RB was tweeting this right away. It took game 3 to finally decide to put a 7-2 guy out of the paint and help out on the pick and roll. Like, I saw RB's video he did yesterday about Brett Brown's post game, and he was pretty much saying, like he said, he was trying to outsmart people by saying, I think it's a better idea if you keep the big man down low and let Kemba shoot these open shots, but maybe I'll try something different this time.
He tried something different. It worked. I don't get why it takes that long, but I'm going to be honest. On the offensive side of the ball, there was stretches in this game. The Celtics were off, so we were staying even, and our defensive intensity stepped up. But why? I felt like we went more with pick and roll tonight, but that's all we did. Like it got so predictable that I knew what we were going to do when we came down the floor. And when the Celtics picked up that tempo, let's not forget Jason Tatum only played 9 minutes in the first half. I mean, he was not in, and we were just staying very even. We were down for a while. So when he came back in, started to heat up, and the defensive intensity was there, it's like the Sixers had no answer. There was literally nothing we could do except give it into the post and hope Joel got a foul. Honestly, that's what I saw.
Yeah, I mean, and it comes down to like the Sixers. I mean, the Celtics control the game little by little. Every time they try to put us away, we came back. But it took us being down by 10 to spark anything up, down by 8 to spark anything up, down by 5 to spark anything up. But I will say the defense wasn't great all night, but it definitely locked up in the end. And it was just unfortunate that the guy who's been carrying us, who had us in the game 1, who dropped 32 in the losing effort, yes, it was a very poorly designed. See, this is exactly why coaches like Pop, coaches like Brad Stevens, coaches like maybe even a Nick Nurse, who's doing stuff without a true superstar. These guys make these guys better. And that's why for people who are fully on the Ben Simmons train or fully on the Embiid train, I got to see both these guys with somebody who shows me, what these guys' potential can fully be, because I just don't see it in this lineup with this team overall. And it starts with the head coach. Yes, it might be a superstar league, a players league, but it's still, you get your identity from your coach, and we don't want this no more.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, man, like, we didn't have enough. Like, honestly, it's crazy to me how the Sixers were in this game. The Sixers were shooting at halftime. They were shooting 32% from the field. And we entered the fourth quarter shooting under 30% from the field, under 30%. And there was a time in the fourth quarter where we had more free throws made than buckets from the field. We were 26 for 86. There's no way you're winning a playoff game like that. The only thing I was looking for was that we come out and show some pride, which we did. Jay Rich hit a couple nice threes, but overall was 5 for 17. Shake Milton, 6 for 18. I mean, it's just not enough. Nobody in our backcourt scored until the end of the second quarter. I mean, how do you expect to beat the athletic, just really superior Boston Celtics when your guards can't even make a shot and they can't even get open? Like I said, Korkmaz came into this game and he was strapped. He has not made a bucket in the entire series.
He's been trash.
I feel like Alec Burks kind of got out of his groove once Brett took him out of that rotation that he had him accustomed to. And it's just over. Like, Mike Scott comes in, no production. Thibault, he plays 30 minutes last game and plays what? Thibault plays 9 minutes tonight, shoots the ball one time, and overall just could not get his feet under him. Tobias Harris again, 6 for 19. I said in the pregame, Tobias Harris, if you have another game of 15 points or less, you will get raked through the coals. He will get raked through the coals. Tobias Harris is not a max player. He's nothing close to it. How are you supposed to be a co-star on a team? How do these guys look at you making $30 million a year and you put up That is his highest performance. Ties his highest performance of the series. 15 points.
Yeah. And it's funny, before the series started, I said you can count on a nice 20 piece from Tobias, which he hasn't got all series. Like Tobias, and he has to be our number 2, but he's not a number 2. He should be paid like a solid number 3 or 4. He's paid like a number 2. Heck, he's kind of paid like a 1.5, to be honest. It's just ridiculous. And it's frustrating to know that, again, if you really look at the series and all, they really smoked us game 2. But game 1 was close with us having 18 turnovers. And game 3 was close with us shooting 28%. Even when the Celtics shot their 32% in game 1, we gifted them 18 turnovers. We shot 29% for majority, finished with 30%. And we ain't get no gifts. But for some reason, the Sixers did stay in the game. They just grinded it out. And again, shout out to Philly Take with RB. Like he said yesterday in the thing, it doesn't take this long to, it's a copycat league. The NFL is, the NBA is. You could not fix. The whole bubble has been screen set picks, and you can beat the Sixers. You're going to get a wide open shot, like Kemba said.
I agree. The Sixers started out shooting this game 5 for 17, 1 for 7 from behind arc. And I know the Celtics had similar stretches. They went like 1 for 8 on a run in the second and the third. Like, I just feel like at this point, this was the game for the Sixers to just put their foot on the gas pedal and just win one convincingly. And they could barely even take the lead. They led for 90 seconds of this game. 90 seconds. Speaking of turnovers, each team ended with 13 turnovers. But you know the difference? I think the Celtics had 20 points off of turnovers. The Sixers had like 8. That is not going to cut it. Another thing I want to talk about, and shout out to Esteban here, says, I'm a Celtics fan, but you're amazing and awesome. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to all 270 up in the chat right now. Hit that like button. Subscribe to our channels, man. Appreciate everyone up in here. Philly Mike, I got to get your take on this because – look, I've been saying it this whole time. Embiid and Horford will not work on the floor together. They will not work. There is too much clogging in the paint, no space. You're essentially asking Al Horford to become a stretch big. It just does not work. Embiid can get his when Al is not in the paint. But Al Horford is just like, what is going on with Al Horford? I mean, for me, if you go ahead and play your old team, right, a rival, it's getting a little bit chippy. They hit him a couple times in the back of the head, right? Aren't you going to get fired up? Like, yeah. Let's look at Al Horford's stat line tonight, right? He had 6 in game 1. He had 4 last game, and he has 6 tonight. I mean, 1 for 5 from the field. How do you get Al incorporated in this offense? Like, what is going wrong? What is going wrong?
You can't. Al Horford shine with the Celtics because he's a pick and pop kind of guy, and he floats around with a bunch of guards, ball handling, shooting guards, which we don't have. We got nobody who can create their own shot. We got nobody who can score openly. This is why we lose in this series. Furkan Korkmaz is complete trash. You got him on the court to score buckets. He can't do that, and he can't play defense at all anyways either. So, I mean, it's bad. And you're frustrating when you keep changing up. You start Al Horford, you bench Al Horford, you start Al Horford, you don't play the pick and rolls, you play the pick and rolls, you do this, you do that. You're just gasping for straws at this point. Shout out to everybody on my channel. I see you, my guys. There's a lot of people in the chat. But like Philly Take what RB said, if you don't know what I go by, my name is Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. This ain't me and RB's first stream, but it's been a while since we did it. But it's never good to come up on here and talk about a loss like this. It's not, especially when it's the Boston Celtics. We play each other, like they said, constantly in the series 22 times. We don't like each other's, but there's some Boston fans that, just talk about the game. And if you talk about the game, there's nothing we can say. 3-0. It's frustrating.
At the end of the day, we're getting outmatched. We are just over talented. But this game, when the Celtics are off and we still can't beat them, that's where it gets me. I mean, we can't. I just felt like there was a lot of pick and roll and on the other end, just isolation ball. There was not a lot of off-ball movement. For example, I mentioned a guy like Korkmaz. He gets open off an off-ball screen. Never. It does not happen.
Hey, Philly Take, real quick. Your man Drew said, I'm about to go to bed. Can you give me a wrench Like you said earlier before I peace out.
I got you. There's over 330 in here, so just comment again and I got you.
Yeah, Scott Lawrence. That's the one thing that I try to say the whole time when I do any type of Sixers post game or not. Jimmy Butler did not want to stay here. It's not like we picked Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. What happened was Jimmy Butler did not like Brett Brown. He knew what we know just a year earlier. Well, we kind of knew it a year earlier, but it didn't start getting to the popular opinion until this year. With that being said, Jimmy Butler was not staying. So that's why we paid so much. We were in limbo for so long with what we're going to do with Jimmy Butler. When we find out that Jimmy was leaving us because no matter what we offered him, he was piecing out, we felt like, oh, wow, what are we going to do? Maybe Tobias is going to leave. Let's overbid on him. So that's what happened. We lost Jimmy and we settled for Tobias. We didn't pick Tobias. We settled for Tobias.
Look, man, this whole roster construction is just poor. Again, we don't have enough shooting. We wanted to go with bully ball. It's not there. Julian talks about Furkan Korkmaz. Why do we keep trying to use him like JJ Redick? I wish I had the answer. I don't understand bringing Korkmaz in 10 minutes in this game, right? All right, so let's talk about this. First substitution, it's gone Alec Burks in game 1, then Raul Neto, and now Furkan Korkmaz, right? So if Korkmaz is in 10 minutes, not one time did I see Furkan Korkmaz try to get separation off an off ball. No, we give him the ball at the top of the key. He does a dribble handoff, and we think that he's going to get open. He's trash on the defensive side of the ball. So why is he in 10 minutes and nothing is designed? It's like everybody fights for their own on his offense. Yeah, Tobias was more aggressive. Al was more aggressive, but they can't do it on their own. The only one that can is Joel Embiid, and we see what he's doing. Yeah, I love Joel Embiid tonight. Got to the line 16 times.
Aggressive.
He just kept going. I know he was tired. I know he was fatigued, but he kept going. But at the end of the day, it's just
that definitely played into the turnovers, his fatigue level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We still didn't have a terrible amount of turnovers. It was just in clutch time.
Correct.
But Asia Roberson was going on. Shout out to all my channel members up here. By the way, appreciate you guys. The membership link is in the description if you want to check it out. We got 340 in the chat. If you guys could hit that like button, subscribe to our channels if you are new. Some of the best reporting going on here. What are your guys' instant thoughts on this game? How do you feel? Because I obviously feel deflated, but at the same time, I really did not feel like the Sixers had a chance to win this game because we don't have the crunch time players. Like Jason Tatum heated up in the fourth, and I knew he would. Jaylen Brown hit a couple shots. Kemba stepped up. Even with Daniel Tice going out of the game, I'm telling you, Brad Stevens is a mastermind. He was throwing all kinds of haymakers at Joel Embiid, and he was letting us live with our shooters. And when we started to hit some shots, did you see the way that the Boston Celtics closed out on us on defense? There was no room to shoot.
Yeah. Like someone said in the chat earlier, we don't have no identity. One of my community posts I did after game 1, and Joel Embiid said that he needs to do more. I posted a community post saying, you know, I respect him taking it on his shoulders, saying he has to do more, even though he's the only one doing something. But at the end of the day, this team has no identity because you take the identity of your coach, and our coach does spur the moment things. He does spur the moment things. He's not a guy who's going to change the NBA. He's not. That 1999 quote he said, stop it. Stop it. You got Mike D'Antoni, who's a guy I think will never win a championship, but look at him. You know, he got five guards in a forward playing basketball. You know, things are changing now. Joel Embiid is one of the last guys who can do things like that, who's a true big man who can go true big and do some shooting. But you got to get with the flow. And you can't have Tobias, who only was scoring down low. I mean, Josh Richardson is our go-to shooter? Really? 30-something%?
I mean, I'm just looking at the stats here. Al Horford, 1 for 5, no threes. Tobias Harris, 6 for 19, no threes. How can you, like, there's just no words at this point. Like, how can you continually perform like that? Tobias Harris, his best performance is a 15-point performance. Hit 6 shots from the field. I mean, Joel Embiid had the second most threes on our team. I mean, that can't happen. That can't happen. Josh Richardson, 3 for 11. Shake Milton, 3 for 9. Ryan Rowe, what's going on? Jersey boy says, salute. This team's a mess. Late game execution sucks. Shout out to Dax missing testicles.
That's my guy.
Love your channel. We out.
That's my thing. We out. Appreciate you, my guy. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Crazy. I mean, it just kills at this point. It kills. Talk about superstar treatment. Everything he went up, they blew the whistle for a foul. It's crazy. GG otherwise. In my opinion, the refs were, again, absolutely garbage. I mean, the whole series, honestly, they've just not been quality, honestly. But again, I'm not going to say that's why we lost. But look, man, we just don't have an identity on offense. It's just outside of Joel Embiid. It's like, where do you go to expect production? I mean, it's just sad at this point. Al Horford making over $100 million. He's put up 6, 4, and 6. Tobias Harris making $180 million. 15, 13, and 15.
Disgusting.
I can't take it.
It's disgusting. Like I said, we settled for Tobias, and then I don't know what got into mind. Again, the move for Al Horford was to stop Giannis. Well, you got to get past the first round, first of all. Second of all, that's not what it is. They stopped Giannis with Kawhi Leonard, a small forward, and a big guy. It was a big guy in Kawhi who stopped him, not the other way around.
Rob says, as a Celtics fan, I'm happy they won. Also, NBA fans, Sixers have no leadership, where the Celtics have many leaders. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Shout out to Christopher Shaw for the super chat. Appreciate you, man. Says, love the channel, but y'all need to blow it up. Tobias and Al, you need shooters. I absolutely agree with you, bro. There's no other words at this point. Shake Milton was not the guy. I tried to tell people, I didn't say he was going to be bad, but at the end of the day, is Shake Milton ready for the moment? I don't know. I don't think so because he doesn't have the experience. Matisse Thybulle doesn't seem ready for the moment. And it feels like Elton Brand thought that we were going to hold teams below 90 points. But our defensive intensity as a whole has not been there. Appreciate the super chat, Chris. And I agree, bro. I agree. It's just not going to work at this point. It's really not going to work. Shout out to all 420 up in the chat. Hit that like button if you're just coming in. Subscribe to the channel. Trying to read all these comments or at least get as many as we can. So just comment again if we miss it. But yeah, overall, this game was lost by just the lack of shooting. And in crunch time, just some of the questionable decisions. What would you have liked to see in the crunch time? Because I didn't think it was good enough. I really did not. But again, I'm not going to fault the whole game for that.
Nah, in crunch time, it got to be Joel Embiid because, yes, Josh Richardson was starting to make some shots in the second half, and so was Shake Milton. They both had bad stat lines because of how horrible they were in the first half. But they started coming along late in the third, early in the fourth. But at the end of the day, you have to give it to Joel Embiid, but you got to draw something up better for him. You got to ISO him. Try to get him one-on-one with Canner. Try to make sure that if anybody comes off their guy, to get Joel Embiid, the guy who's open is a shooter. Let it be someone. We don't got him, but the best man, it had to be Shake or Josh Richardson, but you have to have him in it. You have to have Joel Embiid so far in the paint that it's not contested. Or where were we at with timeouts? How many timeouts do we have? Because I'll
tell you. I actually caught this by accident, but with 7 minutes to go in this game, or I think it was like 6:30 left, we had one timeout.
That hurt. Because if we had more timeouts, listen, Joel Embiid faded away and tried to draw the foul against Cantor because he was gassed, which led to the what is that called again? I said it earlier post game. The clear path. That clear path foul gave Tatum 2 shots. He made 1, and then after he missed the other one, Kemba put Al Horford on skates and just jaded. So that was the biggest thing. The pass across the court turned into a 3-point play by Smart, and then the block shot could have been a foul on Cantor, but the block shot from Tatum turned into 3 more. So that was a 6-0 run in 2 possessions.
Look, and I will say one thing. There was a point, I think it was in the third quarter, where Joel Embiid went out with his fourth foul, okay? It was bad. But Joel Embiid was getting hype on the sideline. I loved what I saw because we don't have that kind of leader. But I saw Joel Embiid on the sideline going crazy, trying to get people up. I enjoyed that. But there's just, I don't know if you see this, but there's certain possessions where we can go from looking like a top defensive team. Like I saw, honestly, I'm not going to be mad at Al Horford on defense because he's guarding Jaylen Brown. I can't expect Al Horford to stay in front of Jaylen Brown. It's not going to happen. He almost dropped him. But there were a couple nice closeouts by Jay Rich. You know what I mean? Like guys picking up on others. But then you fast forward 4 possessions, and the Sixers, they just let a guy like Marcus Smart drive right into the basket, untouched, or an and one. I don't get how we lapse off on D like that. You know what I mean?
Hey, yo, shout out to the guy who said he's about to drop a Brett Brown diss track. Let me know ASAP.
Hey, shout out to him, man. He's been saying it up in the chat. Shout out to him.
Look, 2 close games, just didn't get the job done. And again, I think out of the 3 games, this was the most that Brett Brown didn't really super ruin it because he really messed up the whole game in the middle of the first quarter. And like RB said, I think because Alex Burks came out in the second game, because of he didn't get his normal rotation spot. And then he came out this game, because he didn't get his normal rotation spot. And although Alex Burke has been our clutchest player other than Joel Embiid in the bubble, Alex Burke has never been known for that. So when he got hot in that role, you keep him in that role. He's not a guy who can turn it on like this. He's not a Jimmy Butler. He's not an all-star or a superstar. He's Alex Burke, who was dropping 18 to 20 a game in that role. Brett Brown took him out. He went back to Alex Utah Jazz Burke or Alex Golden State Burke. You got to keep it. If it's working, don't change it.
Diallo says, instead of refueling, Sixers management and coach re-tanked on the fans. No excuse for trading away all the good players. I think I pretty much agree with you there. Look, man, at the end of the day, I don't know about you, but for me, part of it goes to not having enough shooting. But honestly, there was not enough space for our guys to get open. There was not the right – there was like no plays being called. I felt like guys were lost. That's what I feel about guys in this offense. Jay Rich, lost. Shake Milton, lost.
Hey, shout out. Philly Chill L said Horford is definitely working for the Celtics. But what's it called said too, one of your guys, B. Bowie said Alex Burke over Alex Burke, but he put his name back to Alex, not with the C, with the X.
Look, man, Alec Burke could not get anything going. Alec Burks is after Brett switched it up and tried to outsmart us, he was toast. But I'm telling you, the guys do not have enough space to shoot. If you watch Shake Milton in this game, I said that Shake should be taking more shots, which he finally did. He took 18 shots tonight. But again, he did not have any space. He just looks too young. But Josh Richardson is shooting contested threes. Got blocked a couple times. Al Horford shooting a contested three. Al Horford looks like he's 50 years old.
Yo, yeah, and this is a play that happened prior to that big, them last 4 possessions. I'm going to go even one more because, like you said about the Tobias ISO was little suspect. But how about that possession where Al Horford just pulled up in the corner?
I know. That's what I'm talking about.
It was an early shot clock. He pulls up in the corner for no reason, just giving a horrible possession.
Joel Embiid shot the ball. I think he hit our first couple threes. But it's like, why does Joel Embiid have to be the guy to do everything? It's just bad at this point. I'm telling you, Horford and Embiid cannot play together. And we saw it. It's crazy. Like when Al Horford cuts to the basket and brings another man in Joel Embiid's range. Luckily, Embiid was getting a lot of foul calls in his favor. But it's just crazy to me when Jason Tatum plays 9 minutes in the first half. It's crazy when he doesn't return to the fourth quarter. And we are this close, shooting as bad as we are, and we don't take advantage and win this game. At the end, it's just we're not winning a game. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, the shooting is horrible, though.
But did they have enough space? There were a lot of times where they're getting choked out, and they're looking for someone to be the guy. They're looking, Tobias, are you going to step up? No, he's just in the system. Embiid, are you going to step up? He's doing all he can do.
Do you know that Tobias did not make 1 3 the whole series so far?
I did not know that. I thought he made one. That's terrible.
He did not make 1 3 the whole series. I think he's 0 for 8. Don't quote me on that, but I know he didn't make none the whole series.
Tobias Harris, 4 free throws tonight. Is that what you're looking for from your second option? I feel like Tobias should be. Tobias settles way too easily, man. He settles way too easily for a bad shot. There was a time in the third quarter where we're taking contested pull-ups from 40 feet out. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Nathan says it's not the talent, it's the coaching.
Facts.
Let's see.
But we still got to work on Tobias and Al Horford, how they fit in this rotation, how they're taking up a lot of the money for this organization. All that stuff has to be handled, and it's not going to be easy. We are going to handicap the next guy that comes in here a little bit, but the next guy that comes in here with some different philosophies, maybe Tobias is a little bit better. Maybe Al Horford and Joel Embiid's minutes are not the same. They only elapse a little bit. Maybe you get a guy who can really instill confidence in Ben Simmons. Now, I'm not going to say he's going to shoot, but again, Brett Brown, coaching his dad, best friends. Hey, it's okay if I stay up. You know, it's just too much. Regardless how you feel, which I believe almost everybody in here feels like it's Brett Brown's time to go. But for those who blame it all on the players, it's still, the voice is stale. It's over.
My problem is Al Horford's contract. Like, they cannot play on the floor together, but you got a guy being paid $100 million. Philly Notion, appreciate the super chat, my guy. Says, would you consider trading Ben for shooters? I am not trading anybody until I see a new system, a new coach, and hopefully some shooters. I mean, you could say the Sixers would come in and win this with Ben Simmons. At this point, I don't even think we would. I don't think we would because there's no shooting. I'm telling you, look at how Brad Stevens coaches a basketball game. As soon as something starts to heat up, what does he do? He gets right on it. Honestly, today, Brad Stevens was sitting back. He was enjoying himself. Literally, the Celtics they were not going as hard as they were at first. They was letting us live or die with our shooters, and they could not make anything. But what does he do? As soon as Embiid started to touch the ball down low, they were literally swarming him. I saw one play where all 4 guys, they were kind of playing a zone defense on us. They all collapsed on Joel Embiid. Literally. Yeah. He knows it's not that hard. It's simple. But I'm not trading Ben Simmons at this point, no.
No, because here's the thing. Again, you trade Ben Simmons. Imagine he gets in with a team that has a coach that pushes him the way that Brett Brown can't, and then it's another Philly blip that he's over there balling with another team. Listen, as soon as we see 1 year of Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, how their chemistry is under a new system, I'm ready for all the legit criticism. Now, I do criticize Ben on certain things. I criticize Joel Embiid on certain things, even though they were poorly drawn plays. Embiid, again, there's no timeout, so you can't do that. He just got to be better. I mean, the turnover, take the shot. I'd rather miss and lose by you than you passing out of it and they becoming a turnover. Because maybe they call the foul. But anyways, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid under somebody else, I got to see it. Because you can't blow this team up. The process already been too long. The process has been loading for a while. Get Brett Brown out. Once I see how this team is, we go about our way.
There was also some other times in this game, there were a couple bad rotations. There was a couple times, like I said, we didn't step up on screens. But did you notice every time we set our big man out to the pick, we were switching. We were fine. The Celtics all game were switching Tyson, Jaylen Brown, Brown and Tatum. They were on us. We literally could not get space. And I feel like the last couple possessions, people won't look at it as much, but I'm telling you, just the play design was not it. The play design was not, like you said, live or die with Joel Embiid. But you're throwing an outlet pass, a jump pass across your body. You don't think one of them guys are going to get to that? I mean, it's just, and then you come down, really nothing. A Tobias isolation from 3. Like, I didn't know that was going to happen. And a Jay Rich contested corner 3. And Al Horford contested 3. Like, come on, man. We got to have something better than that. Rami says it was a hard-fought game until the last few possessions. We were up by 1, and then a minute later, they're up by 5. I knew it was going to happen. It's like every single time.
Yeah. But, like you were saying about that, wow. I mean, and it even goes wrong because the turnovers are turnovers, but both turnovers turned into 3-point plays. Like, could it get any worse? Could it get any worse?
It's sad. It's sad. And this will go overlooked because of how close the score was. But like I said, the Sixers entered the fourth quarter shooting 28% from the field. I mean, do you know how abysmal that is? And we're only down 4, and we took the lead. And we had more free throws made than shots made. I mean, it's just bad.
Hey, look what happened. The Lakers shot 23% and got beat by the Blazers. We shot 28% for the majority of the game. Not much better. You know what I mean? So you can't do that. You can't do that.
It's unbelievable. Joel Embiid scored with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. His first bucket since 3 minutes out of halftime. I mean, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Hey, shout out to everybody who's on my channel. He got a lot of people in his thing. I hear everything. I'm watching your chats. Shout out to all you guys.
Dax says, why'd you miss my super chat and why do I no longer have a wrench? I have the most infamous name. I think you're on my channel. That's why.
Yeah. You're on Philly Take with RB's channel. If you were on, which, I know you come through to all my Eagle stuff, my guy. We out. But yeah, you're on Philly Take with RB's channel. But shout out to anybody. And for those who are on my channel who don't know Philly Take with RB, he does not only do Sixer stuff, he definitely does Eagle stuff. We're going to be getting Eagle streams sooner or later too. But shout out to everybody in the chat. And like you said, for those on RB stream, me and RB go back a little bit. I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, everybody go like up the stream on both channels, man. Sub him up. One of the best Philly creators right here. We got 400 strong in the chat. Shout out to everybody, man. Let us know what you're thinking. I know we got Celtic. Look, we respect all opinions here. We love going back and forth. We love talking. And look, we're going to be objective at the end of the day. So we appreciate everybody that's up in here. We're trying to get to all the comments.
At this point, we already been talking so long and we're so far back. What I think you should do is just rotate to the bottom and say if anybody wants their question answered, I didn't get it, to recycle it, because now at least we can start just going solely off the chat, and it's going to be all stuff that is new because we're probably still going to be talking about like 14 minutes ago stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. So go ahead and comment down below whatever you want us to answer, whatever you want to talk about. I'll just give a quick take and I'll let Philly Mike do the same thing for people that are just tuning in, because I know we got people exiting and coming in. Honestly, this game was lost. I didn't like the last couple possessions. I thought they were terrible, but overall the team just did not have enough shooting. And I thought we stepped it up. I thought we gave heart, which is what I was looking for. So I'm not terribly mad. We could have won this game even shooting terrible, but at the end of the day, it's just not going to cut it shooting under 30%. You know what I mean? It's just not going to cut it. So that's my overall take on the game.
Yeah. Overall take is this was probably one of the best games that Brett Brown coached. And I'm not by any means saying it was a good coach game, but he did not get in the way as much as he normally does. With that being said, the shooters got to make shots. It's a make or miss league, and we did a lot of missing. You can't shoot 29% for the majority of the game. Even if Joel Embiid's doing Joel Embiid type things, even if the defense starts locking up, we're not in the 1980s, 1990s. Defense is got to be there, but you got to score over 100, which we failed to do.
Yep.
And shout out to my guy, Victory channel member in the building. He always be He'll be sleeping on Embiid though. So, he's sleeping on him. We go back and forth.
Same thing happens every game. We take the lead and then fall apart. Unacceptable. It's literally like, honestly, I'm telling you guys, even though we were up in the crunch time minutes, I had a feeling we were just going to explode because it happens every time. Ben Simmons has so much potential. We got to keep him. I agree. Oscar Lou up in the building.
What's going on, my guy? Like I said, I see some people jumping back and forth through channels. Appreciate you guys. We got a couple people in here who are subscribed to both of them. Philly Take with RB, Philly Talk Podcast in the building. What's up?
Shout out to everyone up in here. Hit that like button, helps us push out this content. Appreciate everyone up in the chat. Y'all treating Ben Simmons like he's AI. Ben can get traded real quick, coming off surgery. Better trade what value is high. I'm telling you, man, if he shoots the ball, it's going to be something different for the entire league. And I think a different coach would get it out of him. Brett is too nice. We'll get to that in a little bit. I got some comments from Brett Brown before the game that I want to read you, but let's hit some of these comments. Lionel Hollins came over from RB. Too many people talking smack.
Shout out to you, my guy.
James says, RB, where do I start with this game? I had Celtics fans messaging me left and right, which eventually was the reason I turned on the TV. Biggest mistake of my life. Yeah, man.
Hold up. Ask him when he turned it on. When did you turn it on?
When did you turn it on, my guy? Let me know, James.
He's like fourth quarter, 3 minutes left. I'm like, no.
Oh, no.
So, Mike, what's homie's name so I can sub up? Philly take with RB.
Yes, sir. Let's see.
How you super chatting him and not know not being able to sub his channel up? But hey, yo, this is what the game makes me do, my guys. Hey, everybody in the chat, cheers to you, my guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it light because we trying to do this post game without me over here, really showing my true colors about the Sixers. But shout out to you, my guys.
Eagles has landed, says, how can the Sixers go for so long without a pure shooter? When was the last time we had a dead shot sniper on this team? I mean, look, man, I miss JJ Redick. A lot of people were quick to get him out of here. You know, JJ Redick can't play in the playoffs. Well, you know, now we're left with Furkan Korkmaz and Shake Milton.
Who can't play. I think JJ Redick's defense is better than him. And
I honestly do. I mean, I think that the defense could have been at least helped a bit by the system. I don't think JJ, I mean, he was not good in the playoffs. He was not good. But what I do know is he would come off an Embiid screen and he was dead. Automatic.
Bro,
and that's
played Raul Neto.
Raul Neto. No minutes in today's game. I mean, look.
That's why we lost. That's the real reason why we lost.
I literally call these things in the pregame. I said Brett Brown would literally be, after hearing all the noise, he would go away from Raul Neto. Because that is what Brett Brown does. He listens to everybody else. I knew Neto would not play in this game after playing a clump of minutes, like Brett said in the other game.
Hey, Ed Oliver, hold up real quick. Ed Oliver's on my chat. He's talking about the Darius Slay and John Hightower thing. Listen, once and for all, we got to get the live stream. Hit me up. If you're free this Wednesday coming up, Wednesday coming up, please let me know. Let's get a live stream. Eagles and Redskins. I mean, the football team. My bad. Let's get it. Go ahead.
Let's see. I don't think you could trade Howard to Tobias. It's almost impossible. They are so long. Simmons made all these scrubs look decent just to be the most hated player on the team. Simmons haters literally have negative IQ. It's crazy, man, that people want to get Simmons out of here so fast. I mean, he's not even on the court.
Yeah. Yeah, like the dude's not even playing and he's still getting some type of blame. How about the guys who couldn't make shots? What's going on, my guy?
Ben needs at least 2 shooters surrounding him and a coach that can unleash his full potential. We are good. I'm telling you guys, at the end of the day, there's no offensive system. You watch other teams, they're constantly moving. Things are in flow. There is no flow in his offense.
What does Giannis have around him? He got guys who can shoot.
Yeah. They turned their center into a shooter.
For Giannis.
Yep. But our coach is fine. He's satisfied with just using what we have.
Hold up. My guy, Jameer McNeil, an Eagle fan who's on my who subscribed to me, and shout out to my guy. I haven't talked to you in a minute who watches my Eagles content. He said, I'm glad y'all got Al from us. He looks bad. You a Eagles and Celtics guy. I didn't know that.
Yep. Brett should have played the box in one zone to prevent the dribble penetration and excessive screens. I saw the same play every time down the stretch. Every single time, bro. Every time. Thoughts on our offensive rebounding? We offensively rebounded great. I think they had like 3 and we had like 20 something. Yeah,
Not
we
20.
out rebounded them 20-3 in
No.
offensive rebounds.
Oh, 20-3.
In offensive rebounding. But on the other end, we got out rebounded in terms of defensive rebounds. That can't happen. Let me point something out. Kemba Walker had 8 rebounds. Marcus Smart had 8 rebounds. Those were the leading rebounders on the Celtics. I just want to point that out. And Jason Tatum was the third highest with 6. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Jaylen Brown was the third highest with 7. I don't understand that.
Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat, though. Like I said, make sure you smash that like button and check out. My thing is you always watch the other person's content. If you like it, you know what I'm saying, hit that button. If not, you know what to do. But, yeah, we definitely doing this. And hopefully, you know, RB, how do you feel about Game 4? What is your thoughts going into it? Are you more like, let's get out of our misery? Because at the end of the day, a sweep is like checkmate when it comes to the Brett Brown firing. Like, you cannot be voted on by analysts to possibly represent the East, have the best home record with one of the worst road records, because right there shows a team can play at home but can't travel. That's preparation. Who preps the team? Who sets the practices? Who sets the bar? The head coach. So right then and there was, to me, the biggest coaching red light. You're the best team in the NBA at home and one of the worst on the road. Red light, red light. So do you think Brett Brown gets a fired before he leaves the bubble? I mean, because I think if we get swept, he's not taking the same flight home as a team. He's not.
Brett Brown will be gone after the game on Sunday. We will lose and we will get swept, and it's over. I mean, it's written in stone. There's nowhere else you can go at this point. For us to take as big of a step back as we did with the expectations and regress, I understand he didn't have as much to work with. But at the end of the day, look at what he had to work with last season. And look what happened. I don't care that he went Game 7. We should have won that series. We had the talent to do so. And all I can say is look where we're at. I think it's over with.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you can tell the players from a heart standpoint tried, because they got 20 offensive rebounds. They were getting to the free throw line. Not they, Joel. I mean, Joel Embiid was trying. Everybody was trying, but you can't try your shot. Your shot is either there or it's not. And obviously, we don't got no shooters. This is my best hopes and wishes, is that once Brett Brown's gone, we get a respectable coach. I want a guy who's a little bit veteran. I don't want no young college guy. And then the biggest thing is we're not going to be able to get rid of both Tobias and Al. But if we can get rid of one of them contracts, that would be great. I would love both of them to be gone. But as a realistic fan, a guy who talks about both football and basketball, you're not getting rid of both of these guys. That's impossible. But I will settle for one. And so my question to you, RB, if we can only get rid of one contract, regardless what we get from it, who would you get rid of? Who would you try if you can only get rid of one?
I can't really answer that yet because I got to see what kind of coach we bring in. But I don't know. They're both terrible. I think that Al Horford is worse just because he's a bench player for $100 million.
He wasn't benched for the first 40 games.
Right. And he wasn't benched for tonight. But again, he cannot play with Joel Embiid. It's just not going to happen. There's just no space.
Hey, to brighten up the mood a little bit, what happened to your 40 points you were supposed to score tonight? We could have used that, my guy.
Flash with Sam says, how come I didn't see RB in the game? Look, I was ready to go. But Brett Brown didn't put me in. He didn't make the adjustment. I was ready to go. I would have stopped one of these guys from scoring, man. They could have put me on Kemba. I was ready. Look, at this point, you could have put me in this game, and I would have hit a 3. I mean, it's just sad, bro. I was so bored watching the Sixers offense play. It was like a pickup basketball game. It was like a pickup game.
Oh, my. Yeah. So
reason why Embiid got tired is because he was coming up to defend the pick and roll all game. I don't know about that because, I mean, I feel like it was just the physicality of him getting to the line so many times.
Yeah, you can blame it on a couple things, but let's just say you blame it on that. If he didn't come up and defend it, there would be nothing him to be tired about because we probably would have lost by 25 again.
bro, why did Thibault only play? I don't get it, bro. And not only he had 4 minutes played, and Brett brought him in to start the fourth quarter. If you are a coach, let me just ask you, are you bringing in a rookie who is very inexperienced, just got torched last game, and he has 4 minutes played, 4 garbage time minutes? Are you bringing him in to start the fourth quarter in a close game against Jason Tatum? I don't think that's smart. I don't think that's smart.
No, but I do believe he did a good job in the fourth quarter on him.
Yeah, he did. No, he definitely did. Sixers are a good team, just a bad coach. Keep your head up. Shout out to you, Nick. Appreciate it. Vic says we need Buddy healed. I agree. I would love Buddy.
Let me ask you this, though, because, of course, the realistic thing is someone like Buddy Hield and or Zach LaVine. But let me ask you this. If you had to take a cheap shooter out of Joe Harris or Davis Bertans being a cheap shooter, who would you take?
Out of Bertans and Harris, I'm taking Joe Harris.
All right with that. I co-sign that.
Should have kept Trey Burke and got rid of Raul Neto. Yeah, just a Trey Burke update. I think he had, 16 off the bench for the Mavericks, or maybe even more than that. He was cooking.
He was cooking.
Yes, but he's not good enough for this team. Even I don't know about you, but I really think, and I'm being so serious. I'm trying not to laugh, but I'm being very serious. Something happened with Brett Brown and Alec Burks. He does not like him. Did you see when the camera shifted to Brett Brown in the fourth quarter? Alec Burks closed out on a Jason Tatum shot. And all I see is Brett. He got so pissed off. And it's the first time I've seen him get pissed off. But Alec Burks closed out on the shot. He does not like Alec Burks. There's something personal.
Because, listen, guys like Alex Burks is coming off the bench and taking his stepson's minutes. Listen, bro. Trey Burke. Listen, when I did my first stream with Eastwood, I straight said his name is Trey DNP Burks. Like, what? Listen, Trey Burks is in the playoffs dropping teens and 20s. Like, I'm done with that.
It's
the Trey Burke thing hurt.
Silvio, what's going on? I think you guys need to blow up the team. Even with a great coach, the team's not winning a ring. It would just be another year of underperforming. Trade one of your stars and get shooters. That's looking like where we go from now.
Whoa. He's talking about. I think he's talking about trading one of Joel or Ben.
Oh, nah, I would not do that until I get a new coach.
Because I don't consider Tobias a star. So
yeah, I don't know what we consider him at this point. Someone earlier said they spotted him at the liquor store. Like, it's just bad. It's just bad. Like, I'm sorry, man. I said it earlier today. I thought Tobias would have a good game today because I didn't think he would come out with 3 15 or under point performances. At the end of the day, it's just sad, bro. It's just sad. We did have shooters. Hello, Tobias and Marco, JJ Redick. All of them either lead the league in either 3-point-1 contest and 3-pointers made. Yeah, but we let Bellinelli go. We let JJ walk right out. So,
and Bellinelli's just sitting on the Spurs bench collecting dust. He probably Bellinelli or Furkan. Come on now. I'll take Bellinelli.
Takeem says Tobias is getting paid top 10 money, can't even take over a game. He can't even hit regular shots. Like, again, I feel like if Tobias just put his shoulder down and got to the rim, I feel like he would get more. I feel like Tobias doesn't do that. He's just in there I mean, he had 15 rebounds tonight, but when you give him the ball on the top of the perimeter, he settles too much, bro. He settled.
Look, Tobias didn't even need to take over. He just needed to play his role. He didn't play his role as a Robin. Look, Batman was Embiid. Could he at least be Robin? No. He was, I don't know.
Shooting is not the problem. Then what? That's one of the problems.
28% for 3 quarters. We finished with like 30.8%. If you shoot the ball 30%, you're going to lose. Do you know why we turned the ball over 18 times? Shout out to my guy, Dak. I can never say his name. I always say Dak missing, and then I start laughing. He always makes fun of me for that. Shout out to you for going over to Arby's. Well, you were over there. Oh, you were already over there, but you shoot 30%, you're going to lose the game. The Celtics shot 32% in the first game, and the only reason they didn't lose that game is because we gifted them 18 turnovers.
Yeah. The Sixers shot 29.5% from the field in this game and 23% from behind the arc. You're getting close to under 20%.
That means for every 10 3-pointers you shoot, you might make two. Well, you make two and some change. Round it low to 2.
That's unbelievable. Kevin, win or lose, Sixers for life. I agree, man. Always Sixers, man. We got to rock it at the end of the day. But man, this stings. It's just at the end of it, it's just now we're at that point. Let's just get it over with. Put us out of our misery. It's just bad. Al Horford's 34 years old, has no trade value with the huge contract. I agree. When Ben was playing, majority of the fan base hated him and wants him traded. As soon as he was injured, everyone said we had no shot at winning. I agree with that.
That's my guy right there.
You lose the value of Ben Simmons. I mean, even on defense, Shake Milton's getting torched. Al Horford, this is another thing. Not only does he clog up Embiid, he can't guard Jaylen Brown. He can't guard him.
Not at all.
Crazy, man. I will resign as a Sixers fan. What's going on, Puff? Says, if we trade Simmons, I legit laugh at anyone that says that. Untouchable, boys. Not yelling at you too, but I'm tired of the narrative of not having shooters. When we do, it's the system. I agree. There's no identity in the Sixers system. And we've seen it at full force. When you go up against Brad Stevens, there is no chance if you do not execute what your philosophy is, or at least a good philosophy.
Yeah, someone said I'm drunk. No.
As a Celtics fan, I was like, get the boards. You guys definitely played more physical tonight. That's for sure. We played with heart. That's all I asked for. But at the end of the day, I guess we just don't have enough. Trade Tobias Harris to the Knicks. Yeah, let him go back home. Y'all know what you're talking about. I respect it as a Celtics fan. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate it. Hey, we give respect where it's due, man. Celtics are, yeah.
Right now, they got every position better than us except for center. That's about it. I mean, they got the better coach, the better guards. We just got the big man. They don't.
B-boy, what's going on? Yeah, I agree. At the end of the day, I just feel like a coach makes up for so many different deficiencies. Like, if you think about it, with how dominant Joel Embiid can be and just what Brad Stevens is doing in this series, like, it's crazy.
Hey, Nitro Freak's in here. He said, would you trade Ben Simmons for Luka Doncic? Straight up.
I'll let you go ahead and answer that one first.
I asked it first. I mean, listen, I'm a big Ben Simmons supporter. I want to see him with a new coach, but we cannot sleep on what Luka Doncic is doing.
I didn't see this.
He's making his way into the top 10, little by little.
That's for you.
Trade Simmons for Fox, Buddy. Oh, Fox and Buddy. I like Fox. I think Buddy would be a good addition, but Buddy's a free agent, so we can't trade for him. But listen, for them to know, but listen, I would really consider Luka. Like, you can't sleep on what Luka's doing. He's single-handedly carving up 2 great wing defenders, supposedly.
Yep.
The game's going on right now, right? Who's winning? Who's winning this game? Somebody in the chat, let us know.
Yeah. To your question, for this one, I'm not doing it. For Luka, I would seriously consider it. I definitely would consider it.
Again, Ben Simmons is a way better defender than him, but what Luka can do on the offensive side, could you imagine Luka by Joel?
Crazy.
My goodness.
I mean, I could imagine him in Brett Brown's system.
Nah, he wouldn't be as good then. He wouldn't. No, he would have never been able to progress to this with Brett Brown.
Yep. Let's see. You think the Warriors are really serious about trading us the second pick? No, I don't. We didn't see RB on the floor. Raul Neto didn't get any minutes. Coincidence? RB equals Raul Neto. And it's those kind of comments.
RB, what would have been your stat line?
In this game tonight, I would say I would hit a good 5 threes, come out here, probably hit a 21 piece, get some boards and a couple assists, definitely a couple steals, I'm a pretty tenacious guy. I was ready to go. This guy hit you with 6 hashtags here. Very nice.
Yeah, he's a Raptors fan who's like, he joined my channel after that butt whooping we took to them. Well, not really. It was a G League game at the end of the fourth quarter. It was the benches for both teams that were more exciting.
Yep. initial thoughts when you saw the starting lineup tonight. We were on here when they announced it, and I said Brett Brown, again, who listens to all the outside noise, would become accustomed to going back to another lineup. He would take Matisse out, and that is exactly what happened. And I knew, I thought Joel Embiid or Al Horford would struggle, and I just knew they cannot coexist. So I didn't like it. I would have kept going with Matisse, but.
Hey, Nitro Freak said, yeah, Luka's a beast. I know you're trying to find ways to say no, but there's no way we don't take Luka. Yeah, listen, Luka is just an offensive monster. And right now, the Sixers need as much offense as possible around Joel Embiid. Another true scorer.
Yep. I want to keep Ben, but he needs to take aggressiveness from a new coach. I never said I hated Ben. I agree. Celtics fans, as a Celtics fan, all you need is 3 and D with Ben and Embiid. I agree. Just 3 and D shooters, man.
That's what I hope Matisse can turn into.
He can. But again, I feel like Brett Brown doesn't let guys get into their groove sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it's very inconsistent.
I feel like Matisse was knocking down shots early in the season, and then it kind of got to that real slump.
Because he got injured. He had an injury. Brett Brown doesn't know how to use his players. Bogdanovich from Sacramento. I wouldn't mind Kyle Lowry or CP3 on this team. Oof. Trey Burke is the biggest mistake he can create. That's what Philly needs. Yeah. Would have been nice to have a guy like Trey Burke, wouldn't it?
And the thing is, we did not trade. We didn't trade him. We released him.
Mm-hmm.
Released him. When
Even
we got Alex Burks and Glenn Robinson, we were like, oh, we got Alex Burke and Glenn Robinson. Let's just release them.
Alec Burks, literally for like 5 games straight, put up like above 15 off the bench. And then he wanted Raul Neto to get a clump of minutes. Let me see.
But yeah, this offseason, there's not going to be too many superstars on the market. I mean, you got guys like Buddy Hield and Zach LaVine, but with the money that we got tied up, I don't see us going out and getting a guy like that. You might be able to get one of these cheap shooters like a Joe Harris or a David Bertans, but that's about it. Yep. We're pretty much going to go into 2021 with a kind of similar roster. I just hope the new coaching staff is able to put it together because, listen, we had the best home record in the NBA. So this roster, even though I do believe it's poorly constructed, did win the most home games in the NBA. That's throughout the whole NBA. That's a real thing. So it's not out of this world that a new coach can't win the same amount of home games and just a couple away games. I don't know. But I don't like the roster.
Nah, I agree. Shout out to all 310 up in the chat still. Shout out to you guys. Probably be on here for like 10, 15 more minutes. Hit that like button on our channels. Be sure to subscribe. Philly Take with RB and Philly Talk Podcast. Shout out to my guy, man. And shout out to Scott Lawrence. That's my dude. Says Tobias was great in LA. And I was a supporter, but watching him miss layups and lose his confidence from 3, every time they got it to him, he put it on the floor or passed it. I'm telling you, the guys there's not that guy, that alpha that just steps up on a team. That was Jimmy Butler, and we don't have that. And I agree, Tobias was almost becoming an all-star in LA. But again, it was a different kind of system. So I'd rather have Brad Wanamaker, who has cheaper contract, cheaper contract than Al, who keeps clapping his hands when someone scored on him. So annoying. I don't know. I tweeted this out. Al Horford looks so unathletic. Like, just the way he jumps for the ball. I mean, he ends up on the ground so many times. I don't know, man. Embiid was Batman and Tobias was Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, man. Hey, for the people asking in my chat room, it's Philly Take with RB, which we said, like he just said. So, Philly Take with RB, and for those in the Philly Talk Podcast.
Yes, sir. Is Brad Stevens a top 3 coach? I would say he's up there, man. I really would. Simmons is better suited for small forward, not power forward. Yeah, I think he's going to be kind of that point forward, to be honest.
Hey, shout out to Ben Morgan with the super chat. He said, "Who's Arby?" What?
Oh man.
What are you talking about, bro? It's like, nah, I try to do my best, Russell.
He's talking about me.
I know. RB, I know.
We can't just say firebread without including Colangelo's leftovers that Harris told Ellen he had to work with for roster moves. Yeah, the rest of them, they all got to go, man. Clean house. What about Zaire Smith? We traded Mikal Bridges. He could have been great. Look, bro, it haunts me to this day because I'm a Nova guy. His mom worked for the organization. Okay, Mikal Bridges was a perfect 3-and-D guy. You can see what he's doing in Phoenix. It's sad, bro. Jeff says I'm a Mavs fan until we fire Brett. Taco Fall. Heck yeah, Nitro
Stop.
Freak. Salute to both. I hope our Eagles don't go through this because this is tough, fellas. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad, but hey, we'll end off with a few more of these. But let me just get your overall take on the game again. Just real sum it up because there are people that have tuned in later on here. Let me know.
I think this game came down to shooting. I know. We shot 30% overall, 23% from 3. It's not going to get it done. Last time the Celtics shot that bad, the only way they were able to win a close one is because we gifted them 18 turnovers. I will say the Sixers played as hard as they could, but you can't play hard when it comes to just making baskets. We just don't got it. However, Brett Brown, for the majority of for the whole 2020, was suspect. But I do not believe in this game, besides starting Al Horford, which I never agree, next to Joel Embiid, the game was manageable. There was nothing that he just did like, wow, he blew it, like he did in the first quarter by not giving Burks the run he normally gets, putting Howell Neto, all that stuff. We were in the game in the end, and we lost by the best player on the court. Even plays were not drawn up how we want. The shooters Embiid had to kick out to were across court. All that being said, he had the ball in his hands. You want to live or die by your best player. Right now, he's our best player. He is our best player no matter what. And we lost the game. But it's not like we didn't lose the other 2 games by other stuff that were Brett Brown's fault. So that's my whole thought. Shooting, which, please God, we need some shooters. And I know Boo-Hoo's going to come on in and say we got some. We do. Maybe under a new system we will. But I want that guy who's a 40+% shooter, who's not going to put the ball on the ground. He's not going to even try to create his own shot. He's going to catch, shoot. Kyle Korver type player. Not him. He's old. But a Kyle Korver type player.
Yep. I agree. I see a lot of people, by the way, asking what coach we should bring in. I'm definitely going to do a video on that, so stay tuned for that. Obviously, when Brett gets up on out of here. But yeah, man, my overall take, I agree. With how poor we were shooting, with how poor the Celtics were shooting, I thought our defense stepped up. I like the energy that we play with, but overall, we just cannot shoot anywhere near this if we want to win a playoff game against the Boston Celtics. Just terrible. Ended the game shooting under 30%. It's just not going to win. It's just not going to happen. Like you said, we need some shooters, and I'm looking forward to just getting this done with and getting onto our hopefully new coach and getting this roster right, because I'm telling you, we have a lot of talent here, and I feel like it's been wasted. I feel like it's truly been wasted.
Let me ask you this, though, before we do get off. With this season being close to being over, who would you like who's on this roster right now to automatically have a spot next year? Of course, we're taking Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons over, but what role players would you want? Now, of course, I was already here saying this, but for people who are just tuning in, I would love to get rid of both Tobias and Al Horford, but realistically, I don't think that's possible. If we can get rid of one, that would be fantastic. But who would you like to roll over when it comes to role players like Furkan, Matisse, Shake, Alex, Glenn, Howell Neto? I'm just kidding. Who would you like to roll over, though, as a role player?
Honestly, bro, I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like the only untouchables are Ben, Joe, and Matisse Thybulle. Those are my only untouchables. I will take Shake Milton to see if he can put on some weight and develop and just get a little more experience because I think he has a bright future. Those are the only 4 I'm taking. Now, others I wouldn't mind, but again, the cap space is going to be tough. But those are the 4. Those are the 4 I'm rocking with. And even Shake's not untouchable. What do you think, though?
Yeah, other than Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, like you said, if I have to transfer Al Horford and Tobias,
Yeah, I can't. You're kind of like breaking up right now.
Are we good?
Nah, you're still lagging. I can hear you now, yeah. You were just lagging that whole time. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah. How about now? Are we good or no?
Yeah, it's better now. They're saying F in the chat for Philly Mike.
He said, R.I.P. Philly Mike. Yeah, you already know. Hello, Mike froze. Am I good now, though, chat? RB?
Yeah, you're a little bit better now. Yeah, you're good.
Send me out and back in real quick before we end this.
I got you.
Better?
Yeah, you're good now.
All right, well, I would like to roll over Matisse. I would like to bring some type of veteran bench player like Alex Burks, but like that's pretty much it. Shake is up and down me. I was on the Shake experiment. I do think he's good as a role player, but Matisse is the only one I really want to build around because I do believe he can be a 3-and-D guy. And Alex Burks have some type of veteran scorer in the second unit because I don't know what else is out there for a bench veteran.
Yeah. What do you think about this comment? Joel Embiid has more threes in the series than Tobias and Al Horford combined.
That is one of them let it sink in moments.
Oh, man.
Hey, yo, someone said I started lagging like Markelle Fultz free throw.
Oh, man.
Shout out to Oscar. Man. That's funny. That's funny.
Oh, man. Where are we at? Hold up. Thibault should have been getting more minutes. Also, Shake has potential. I can't believe Brett said he was never going to get an opportunity. What kind of a coach says that? Don't know what people see in Shake, but I don't see it. I think he just needs to put on a little bit of weight and get some experience under him. But right now, he's not showing up. I don't know, man. He's just young. Started lagging like Markel's free throw. Kyle says keep on drinking. Scott love the live streams. Appreciate you, Scott. Jalen Williams.
That's my guy. What's going on, Jalen Williams?
Trade Tobias to the Spurs. In exchange for what?
Knowing the Sixers will get LMA. They'll get another big guy.
Yeah, we might as well run 5 centers at this point. We might as well. I mean, why didn't we go all in? Why not?
Listen, if the Rockets want to run 5 guards, we'll be 1999 again and run 5 centers. Our point guard will be
Al Horford. He can run in transition.
Yeah.
Burke over Richardson. I agree. I think Alec Burks.
Oh, Luka just hurt his ankle? Someone just said in the chat Luka got hurt. Please don't tell me he's out. Please don't tell me he's out.
Crazy. Y'all need a Jay Crawford off the bench. I agree. This roster is too talented to get swept. That's coaching. I agree. I think Alec Burks has earned himself a nice contract in free agency. I'm not even going to lie. I think he has.
Somehow he'll get us to overpay for him.
Yeah, we'll re-sign him for $100 million. Let's see. Joe needs to take care of his body he's so out of shape, and we need Ben to take threes. Brett's brain lagging like Markel's free throw. What are you talking about? Fultz not getting swept. Luka's ankle. Luka's injured. Luka's hurt. No. Oh, man. Mike got the Philly Fresh internet package.
I knew that was coming.
Jeff says he can also yell in transition. Yeah, Al Horford. We need all of them doing the Horford clap at the same time. You know what I mean?
88-74 Mavs. Dead, no Luca.
Man, that's crazy. Trey Burke's going, wow, I don't even like Alec Burks. Is a talented roster. Ben Toby out. Even Neto, Alec Burks, Furkan, and Joe. We just need the right coach. Look, man, we need a different coach.
Yo,
Philly J, shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out to you. But I like you guys. Yeah, he rocking with our Eagles content. But yo, listen, the Mavs that can't catch a break. First, they eject Porzingis on some baby soft call. They lose that game when they were winning. Then they beat the Clippers, and now Luka goes out. Come on.
Yep, it's crazy.
Do you know why? Man. You know why Luka got hurt real quick? Because we compared him to Ben Simmons. We just ruined him.
That's sad, bro. That's sad. I mean, yeah, we might trade for him now. Let him sit out a year like everybody else does. But hey, your final thoughts. Any early feelings about next game? Do you think it's a clean sweep or what? Do you think there's any hope left?
I mean, obviously, game 1 was decently close. Game 3 was close. Game 2 was just a butt whooping. So we know we can hang with them. We just can't close out because we get outsmarted by why not? Another big guy.
Oh man, I mean, Pop would make Tobias into Kevin Durant. I mean, guy wouldn't miss. I bet.
But honestly, it's probably best because if I don't want there to be no doubt to the organization that Brett Brown has to go. I don't know what other network has to say it. The YouTube channels say it. Philly Talk Podcast, Philly Take with RB, DJ Eastwood running back, even Broads, Sport Talk with Broads. He's not as big as us with the fire Brett Brown, but even he says it's time to change. And if we can get Sports Talk with Broads to say it's that time, then it's that time.
Hey, I'm thinking because Drummer Boy, shout out to my guy, says I'll see you guys on the Brett Brown gets fired video. I was talking about this earlier. Maybe we all get up on here and do a toast. We all just toast the firing of Brett Brown, man. Like, I don't know.
I'll start.
It's gonna be something special, man. It's gonna be something special. DJ actually just got a fire Brett Brown shirt. It's pretty dope.
That's what's up.
But hey, I agree with you, man. I just feel like at this point we're kind of just defeated. It sucks, but we will see. We will see what happens. Sixers down 3-0 in the series after once again blowing it late in the game. We're back Sunday, 1:00. I do every Sixers pre and post game live. If you guys have not yet, check out my content. Hit the like on both streams. Check out Philly Mike, Philly Talk Podcast. And if you like his stuff, go sub him up, man.
And see, I can't wait till I can watch the Sixers without one of these. You know what I'm saying? So soon. Shout out to my guy Kyle, who's been calling me drunk. He's not my guy, but it is what it is. Anyways, if you don't drink while watching the Sixers, I don't know how you survive it.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Boohoo says, everybody like this video. Keep up the great videos, guys. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you.
Hey, I'm going to have a video about Brett Brown, but what I like to do in my Brett Brown videos is I like to take a couple different post games and I mix up his words to make him sound even more stupid, even though it's not hard. You can just listen to a normal post game and it'll sound as bad as I do right now, aka Kyle call me drunk.
I mean, Brett Brown just talks like a historian. He probably did already on this post game, but Eric says, what scares me with the sweep is the pressure the media will put on to try to move Benner and Embiid. That's a good point, man.
It is. But again, everybody's drawback is going to be we cannot decide to move one of our centerpieces until we move our head coach. You always listen. It's a suit again, just like people say, it's a players league. So you got to get rid of your coach to make sure it's your players before you get rid of your players.
Yep, I agree.
Mike, I love your character. Shout out to you, Ben Dover. Oh, Ben Dover. Wow, that's a horrible name. No homo, my guy. This dude.
At least he's not Mo Lester.
Mo Lester, Ben Dover. Like, come on, my guy.
Man. Bro. Hey, but another tough one. Like I said, we'll be back for game 4. We'll bring it all home, man. But appreciate everyone that came out to the live stream. Shout out to all you guys. We do appreciate this a lot. Hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. The Flyers won. The Flyers are going on to the next round. At least we got something positive.
I wish I knew a lick of hockey. I'm so invested into Sixers and Eagles. I watch football and basketball. And part of the reason why my Sixers channel hasn't been the same. I mean, my Eagles content goes off for the simple fact I started when the season started last year, because I've only been doing this for 11 months. But I've been with there. I used to have a night business, and no, it's not an illegal night business. It's a legit night business that I had to attend to, so I couldn't put up Sixers post games. But started getting rolling. The pandemic shot me down. I got unmotivated, and now we back. But Eagles Sixers content on my channel all day. Shout out to Philly Take with RB. We're live on both channels, to be honest. So for people who are still watching on my channel too, and you don't know Philly Take with RB, you're probably watching my channel because you're an Eagles subscriber who also likes the Sixers. And this man right here does Eagles content too, which I'll be getting him on a live stream very soon to talk some Eagles because we had an impactful week.
Yep. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to everyone in chat. We do appreciate you guys. With that being said, one more to go. We will catch you on Sunday. I go by RB. Philly Take with RB.
And I go by Philly Mike, Philly Talk Podcast.
And we will catch you on the next one, man. Peace.